Hello and welcome to the Vibrantly Healthy Mom Show today. My name is Laura Bostrom and I am the host of this show, and I'm so glad that you have joined me today. Before we dive into our subject about talking about an important step that you really need to take if you are dealing with some chronic health issues, or maybe something that has just all of a sudden come up and you're not feeling your best, I would love to hear how you are all enjoying your summer so far. Comment below and tell me how you're going to enjoy this summer with your family. I know I'm looking forward to going on a vacation with my family, and it's something I look forward to all year. And we have a special place we go to, and I bet you have something that you enjoy as well, and I'd love to hear about it. So today, I have a question for you. Are you feeling like you're stuck in the dark when it comes to your health? Well, I want to help you discover a really important step that you need to take in order to find wellness when you're experiencing something that's an ongoing health issue in your life. And like I said, it could be something that you have been dealing with for a very long time, or it could be like all of a sudden you're just not feeling like you used to. You're feeling, maybe you've had a baby or two, and now you're like, wow, I just don't feel like I used to. I'm tired all the time, or I hurt here or there, or whatever it might be for you. Those are important things to address. So let's talk about cars. I am sure that you have all been in a very similar situation that my husband and I know have found ourselves in on a number of occasions as we've owned some older cars. And as they get up there in age, it's like they break down, right? They don't go forever. And what do you do when your car breaks down? What's the first thing that you need to do? You need to determine what's wrong with it, right? You don't just say, oh, let's just start removing parts and replacing them and see which one that we finally take out and replace makes the car work again. No, you don't do that. You go to the mechanic, or maybe you're one of those people that are blessed to know a lot about cars and you can figure it out yourself. But you have to do some diagnostic work. You have to figure out what's going on with your car, so that you know the right place to start with replacing parts or tweaking this or that in order to get that car working again. Because otherwise, if you don't do that, you may end up spending a whole lot of money taking parts out of your car and, trial and error, doing some different things, and it might not work at all. Or you could just say, forget it, I'm going to leave it, and then you don't even have a car to drive. So the same holds true with our bodies. We cannot fix something if we don't know. Hello, Susan. It's so nice to have you here. So you cannot fix something in your body if you don't know what's wrong with it. Just like a car that's broken down has to be taken to the mechanic to have a diagnosis of what is wrong with it, so you know what part to replace or what part to fix. You have to know the same thing with your body. If you don't know what's broken, you certainly can't fix it. And I know all too well from my past it's been almost 3 decades now since this happened, but I went for about 20 years not knowing what was wrong with me. I did not have a diagnosis. And there was a ton of trial and error. I tried this thing and then I tried that thing, and I spent a lot of money in the process. Some things worked and a lot of things didn't. And I'm not sorry for the experience I had, because in that whole process, I learned a ton of invaluable things that serve me well to this day. But it is really important, and I was very thankful when that day came where I finally knew what was wrong with me, because then and only then was I able to be in a position where I could very specifically address that situation. So basically what I'm saying is you have to get to the root cause of your problem. And then when you do, you can zero right in and you can do the right thing specifically for that. Otherwise, it's a guessing game. And I did a lot of guessing myself. So getting to that root cause underneath it all is going to be super helpful. And I'll tell you, with my situation, one of my symptoms, I had a lot of digestive issues. I had what seemed to appear to be, this was just one of the things, but what appeared to be gallbladder attacks. And so finally, after lots of testing that a specialist that I went to did, He determined that one of the tests that he did was kind of borderline. So he told the surgeon, take her gallbladder out. So I got my gallbladder out. And really, I think the surgeon was reluctant in doing it, but he did because we didn't know what else to do. And he came out to the waiting room where my husband was waiting for me to finish surgery. And he said, well, that was one big, beautiful gallbladder I just removed. So to say, basically, we probably shouldn't have taken that out. Well, unfortunately, 2 weeks after that gallbladder was removed, I had a gallbladder attack again. And no, my gallbladder wasn't there anymore. They didn't accidentally leave it in there, but I was having those same symptoms. So basically, that gallbladder feeling of an attack that I was having for me personally was an indication of some other root cause. And I did not know what that was yet. And I am not, please do not misunderstand me. There are people out there that have issues with their gallbladder, and if you have a doctor telling you to get your gallbladder out because of that, then you had better, follow whatever your doctor that you trust is telling you to do. So don't take what I'm saying for my situation to be what you should do for yourself. Everybody is uniquely different, okay? So it's been about 8 years now that I finally found the answer to what my problems were. And I'll just tell you, I had chronic Lyme disease. I had an autoimmune disorder. I was deficient in every vitamin, mineral, hormone, and amino acid in my body. I had parasites. My body was having issues with all of these things, but I did not know that before. And so the doctor that I went to that finally discovered these things was able to address those things. And finding the right doctor is of utmost importance. Before, I had gone to specialists, like I was having GI trouble, so I went to a GI doctor, which they are highly trained in those things. But what I found to be super valuable in my situation was to go to a doctor that took into consideration the whole body, because it's all connected. So I found an integrative physician. There's also some fantastic functional medicine doctors out there, and they practice in the sense of taking the whole body into consideration, how it's all working together, plus your lifestyle as an individual. And they put all that together with testing that they do to see how are these things all working in a way together, or what's missing, and then they figure out a diagnosis for you, and then they can tackle it all and bring it all together so that you can find good health again. So, and if you're in a situation where you are needing a doctor like this, it's super simple. All you have to do is go online and Google functional medicine doctor in my area or integrative physician in my area. And if you need help with this, reach out to me. I'd be happy to help assist you in helping you do some research and find the kind of doctor that is going to really work to get to the root of your issues. It's important because if you don't get to the root of your problems, how are you ever going to fix it? Just like that car that breaks down and you don't know what's wrong with it, you take it to a mechanic, you take it to somebody who's looking at how the car works and figures out what the problem is so that they can actually fix it. And here's the thing, once you figure out what is wrong with you, then you can put all of your energy into getting well by doing the things that your doctor is advising you to do and doing some research on your own and finding things that you can do to help support yourself in a situation like that. And then you're going to be putting your energy towards that rather than constantly trying to figure out all of it yourself, like what's wrong with me and what can I do now to help to try to fix this when you don't even know what the problem is. So I encourage you to put your energy into first of all, finding a doctor that can help you. And before you even do that, an important step is to really listen to your body, take notes, understand very well what it is that's going on. Understand your symptoms, because when you go to a doctor like this, they will ask you questions. You are a very important part of figuring out what is wrong with you because you are the only one that lives in your body. You're the only one that can describe to a doctor the way that it is you're feeling and what your habits are like so that they can then figure out how to best help you. And those parts are super important. You're an important person on the team to help you get better. So make that your first step. Find yourself a doctor then, and then do the things that they tell you to do. Be wise about how you're taking care of yourself and put your energy into getting yourself well. So if you have any questions about any of this, I certainly have walked this path for a number of years. I would be happy to help you in any way that I can, but do get yourself some help because Trying to figure it out when you're in the dark, it doesn't work. Just taking stabs at this thing and that thing. You got to know what's going on. Find out what the root cause is of your issues. So I will see you next week. Thank you for joining me here today. Bye-bye, everybody.